Hello, Dawn here, and I thought today I'd do a special edition of my childhood TV quiz. So I'm going to start with the first few questions. After the first few questions, I'm going to give answers to those questions, and then we'll carry on with some more questions. I'll tell you how many points you can earn on each one, so add them up with some pencil and paper. Question 1. This is for 1 point. On the series White Horses, what is the last word of the White Horses TV theme song? Question 2. For 1 point. How many are there at Trumpton Fire Brigade? Question 3. For 2 points. In Hector's house, what are the 2 things on the front of Zaza's dress? Question 4. For 1 point. In the Herbs programme, who was always knitting in her rocking chair? What was her name? And question 5, for 1 point. In the Herbs, how many chive children were there? So pause the video now and get those first answers, the first 5 questions, and I'll answer those now, and then we'll carry on with the next questions. Answer to question 1. The last word of the White Horses TV theme song is away. Answer to question 2. How many are there at Trumpton Fire Brigade? The answer is 7. Hugh, Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grubb, and of course Captain Flack. Answer to question 3. In Hector's house, what are the 2 things on Za's dress front? And the answer is a picture of a flower and a pocket. Answer to question 4. In the Herb programme, who was always knitting in her rocking chair? And that was Aunt Mint. Answer to question 5. How many chive children were there? And the answer is 10. How are you doing so far? Okay, let's start with the next set of questions. So on to question 6. For 1 point, in Catweasel, what was the name of the toad? Question 7. For 1 point, who sung the theme tune used in series 3 to 10 of Happy Days? Question 8. For 1 point. Do you remember Lizzie Drippin on TV? But who wrote the book? Question 9. For 3 points. In the Waltons, what was Mary Ellen's son called? And you get 1 point for each part of his name you get correct. Question 10. For 2 points. In Angels, the nurse series, where was the series originally set? So 1 point for the name of the hospital fake name and 1 point for the place name. Okay, there's more questions coming, but let's answer those next 5 questions first. Question 6. In Catweasel, what was the name of the toad? And the answer is Touchwood. Question 7. Who sung the theme tune of series 3 to 10 of Happy Days? And that was Pratt and McLean. Question 8. Who wrote the book Lizzie Drippin? And the answer is Helen Cresswell. Question 9. For 3 points, 1 point for each part of the name. Mary Ellen's son's name, and that was John Curtis Willard. 1 point for each part you got correct. Question 10. In Angels, where was the series originally set? The name and the place. So for 1 point, the name of the hospital was St Angela's, and for another point, it was set in Battersea. Remember, this is the original series, as it did change later on. How are you doing? Let's get on now with the final set of questions. Question 11. For 1 point. In H.R. Pufnstuf, what was the name of the owl character? Question 12. For 2 points. What were 2 of the Reckless Tufty characters? The 2 bad boys, what were their names? Question 13. For 2 points. Where was the Little House on the Prairie supposedly set? So the name of their community area and what state? Question 14. Name 5 different DJs on Top of the Pops. So 5 points, 1 for each name you can remember of the DJs. Question 15. Can you name all of the main presenters of Crackerjack? So the host of each of the Crackerjack series. And question 16, the final question. In Thunderbirds, what is Lady Penelope's surname? 1 point if you get the full name. So here are the answers to the final set of questions. How well did you do? Question 11 was, in H.R. Pufnstuf, what was the name of the owl character? And that was Dr. Blinky. Question 12 was the names of the 2 Reckless Tufty characters. It was Willy Weasel for 1 point and Harry Hare for another point. Question 13 for 2 points was, where was Little House on the Prairie supposedly set? 1 point if you said Walnut Grove and another point if you said Minnesota. Question 14 was, name 5 DJs on Top of the Pops, so a point for each person you remembered. Some examples are Kid Jensen, Noel Edmonds, David Hamilton, Dave Lee Travis, Kenny Everett, Tony Blackburn and many more. Question 15 was, name each of the original main presenters of Crackerjack, and that was a point for each. Eamon Andrews, Leslie Crowder, Michael Aspel, Ed Stewart and Stu Francis. And if you said Crackerjack every time I said Crackerjack, then you get bonus. Finally, question 16 for 1 point. In Thunderbirds, what is Lady Penelope's surname? And that is Creighton Ward. Add up your answers, how many you got correct, and tell me in the comments. Also tell me if there was any tricky ones or if you found it easy. Do look out for more of my childhood memory series. Check out the playlist.